Hi guys, welcome to AndroGuider. So in this video we are going to do a quick review of the ZephyrOS 4.4 ROM. So as you can see that this is ZephyrOS 4.4. This ROM is based on Android Marshmallow 6.0.1. It comes in with the latest August 5, 2016 security patch 2. The SC Linux status of the stock kernel is permissive, and you can make out the build date from the kernel version, which is 14th of August. Also the developer options are not enabled by default. I've just enabled them. But if you want to enable them, you have to tap on the build number 7 times. Okay, so most of the customizations which the ROM offers are present under the vertex menu. So first of all, we have the brightness control settings, then double tap to sleep on the status bar, quick pull down, show the task manager in the extended notification header region. This is the task manager which I'm talking about. Then we have the carry label settings. So if you want to show the carry label on the status bar, you have to check in this option, show it on the lock screen. Then if you want to have a custom carry label in, then you can do that as well. Then how many number of notification icons should be there for the carrier label not to be shown on the status bar, you can configure this using the notification icon option. So currently, as you can see, that we have got 2 notification icons, so that's why the carrier label is not being shown in the status bar. But the moment I just disable this option, you can see the carrier label in the status bar, and at the same time you can configure its color as well. Then next up we have the network and traffic settings. So first of all, you can enable either the outgoing traffic or the incoming one, or both of them. Then we have the display unit, update interval, auto hide the network arrows when there is no data exchange going on, and you can configure that inactivity threshold. So say when the speed is below 10 kbs per second, then the network traffic indicators will automatically be hidden from the status bar. Then we have the clock and date settings. So you can enable or disable the clock and date entirely by using the master switch. Then you can configure its color too, and we do get a really very nice color picker in. You can enter any custom hex color code which you want to, and at the same time you can configure the color from the sidebar as well. And if you want to choose the color from any preset values that the ZephyrOS developers have given you, you can choose that too. Then you can configure the alignment of the clock, right or center. These are the 2 options which we have. Then we have the AM/PM style. Currently I'm running on the normal style, and this is the small one, and if by default it is the AM/PM is not shown, but you can configure that as per your need. Similarly, we have the small font size and the normal font size for the date. And currently for the date, the date is only being shown currently in the form of the day. So I will just be covering up all the styles which we have in here. This is the uppercase one, then this is the lowercase one, and this is the normal one. And then, as I was telling you, currently the date is should be shown in the form of days. And these are the date formats from which you can choose any one of them. So these are all the options which we get. Then moving on to the navigation bar and recent panel settings, you can enable or disable the search bar in the recent settings. We do get the clear all button in, and we have the entire 6 location pack. Then if you want to enable or disable the memory bar in the recents panel, then we get the dirty unicorns interface package in. So using the first switch, you can enable or disable the navigation bar entirely. Then we have the navigation bar modes, smart bar and Fling. So I will be covering both of them up. So first of all, we have the smart bar settings. So what smart bar allows you to do is it allows you to tweak the single tap, double tap, and long press actions of all the navigation bar buttons which we have in here. So first of all, to tweak the navigation bar, to tweak the smart bar settings, you need to tap on the toggle button editor option, and then when you will long press on any of the navigation bar buttons, you would get this pop-up menu. And then using the actions option, you can configure the single tap action, double tap action, and the long press action of the recent key. Then you can quickly launch any custom action, and these are the options which we get for the custom actions, and you can configure any one of them. Then if you want to launch any application too, then you can do that. And again, if you are an avid tasker user, then this option is definitely going to come in handy. So you can just quickly launch any task quickly by just double tapping on or long pressing or single tapping on any, depends on how you have configured the smart bar settings. You would be able to launch a task directly. And again, if you want to directly dial any contact, message a contact, any, just drop in a message directly, then you would be able to do all that stuff from the from the application settings. I guess I just moved on to I just clicked on that message setting, so it just took me back. Anyways, also you can add any icon to the navigation bar by clicking on this add icon, and then you can configure how this icon should look like by, you can configure, choose from any icon pack or any icon which you have in your gallery. And if you want to remove this icon, then you can tap on this option to cancel. You can tap on the cancel button. Similarly, you can configure the single tap, double tap, and the long press actions of all the newly added navigation bar button. But just keep one thing in mind, that you won't be able to configure the single tap and the single tap action of the home key and the back key, because these are considered as one of the most important and major navigation bar buttons which we have down there. But however, you can configure the smart bar, sorry, the single tap action of the recent key though, and you can allocate that action to another key. But these things just can't be done away with. And as you can see that we don't have the remove option in for both the home key and the back key, so just keep that in mind. And when you are done tweaking the navigation bar, then you can I'll just remove this. Then you can just press tap on this cross icon, or when you are done, once again you can single tap on the toggle button editor option, and you will go back to the smart bar settings. Then we have the context buttons layout position, right or left, you can configure that. And then we have the input method actions. So what should happen when you are typing, or when the keyboard pops up? Do you want the keyboard switcher in so that you can switch between different keyboards, or you want to be shown with the input arrows through which you can move throughout your text? Very quickly again, these are the navigation bar arrows which I am talking about. Using them you can quickly move left or right in the text. Then okay, so that's all what we had in the input method actions. Then we have the button touch animation. Again, currently I am running the spring button animation. This is the spring button animation, and this is the just 1 second guys. And then if you want to have a look at the ripple animation too, this is the ripple animation which we have. This is the ripple animation, and I did show you the spring animation. And then if you want to color the navigation bar buttons, then you can enable the navigation button tint option and color the navigation bar buttons in the way you want to. So green, it will change, the tint of the navigation bar buttons will change automatically as per your convenience. Then next up we have Fling. So using Fling, we do get the ZephyrOS developers have included a custom logo for the Fling gesture interface too. So using Fling, you are actually able to draw gestures on the you are able to swipe on the navigation bar button in the navigation bar. This is the swipe which I am talking about. And then you can swipe both on the left hand side and the right side, and then you can configure all those swiping actions. So we have the right short swipe, long swipe, and swipe up on. So we have the short swipe, long swipe, and the swipe up actions on both the left hand side and the right hand side. Then we have the single tap, double tap, and the long press actions both on the left hand side and the right hand side. Then we have some Fling logo customizations. You can configure the ripple effects, the trail colors, and then you can configure the long swipe thresholds. Again, we have a lot of options in separately for the portrait and the landscape mode, so great to see that. And then you can customize the long press delay in the end. So I'll be going back to smart bar for this video. Then you can also configure the navigation bar size, portrait, and landscape width. Then we have the left-handed mode in the end. So pulse are beautiful graphical lines which are shown down in your navigation bar whenever you are listening to an audio or a visual track. So just quickly, if I can play a video track a music track for you. So let us see. Okay, so currently we do get two different modes in with pulse. You can configure that using the render mode option. We have solid lines and fading blocks. Currently I am using the solid lines option. So by configuring the sanity level, you tell pulse how often how often pulse should often it should go down the from the higher band to the lower band, and you can just see that currently the sanity level is too low, so how often it should go to the higher band, and when you increase that value, the pulse will just rise. So that's all what you can configure using the sanity level. And then lava lamp animation speed, it's pretty clear from the name itself how fast should be the animation speed. How fast should be that transition from higher band to lower band. So if you want an aggressive music track, aggressive pulse, then you can configure the lava lamp animation speed to higher side. Similarly, we have the render mode to fading blocks. Fading blocks is no different. It is just that it has the solid lines are divided in the form of blocks now, and you can configure the pulse bar width in here, the spacing, and the block size of the these block size which we have in the pulse. Then you can configure the block spacing, and in the end we have the visualize the sanity level and lava lamp animation speed, which I just got up down below. Also you can configure the pulse color to a custom color option, and if you want to turn on the lava lamp, then you can do that. So that's all what we have in here. Again, that's all what we have in the dirty unicorns interface package. Then we can configure the hardware key actions too. So if you want to disable the navigation keys, you can do that, and if you want to enable the hardware keys, the hardware key actions, you can configure that. But my Android One device has just got volume rockers and the power menu key, so I won't be able to show you those many options down there. The power menu settings are present down below in the developer options, which I would be covering up to. So if you have a device with backlit keys, then you can configure the backlit timeout too. Then we have the lock screen settings. You can configure the middle lock screen shortcuts. We have the music visualizer too. Again, if you want to have a quick look at that, I'll just select a different color, say green. Then this is the music visualizer on the lock screen. Then you can also configure the bottom lock screen shortcuts. Then we have the notification drawer settings. Okay, so these are the quick settings which are enabled by default, and these are the ones which you can add on. So a lot of options to choose from, and this ROM comes in with the Substratum theme engine, and at the same time we do have the floating peak feature imported from Paranoid Android. I did a video on Paranoid Android 6.0.22 in case you guys want to check that out too. And then you can enable or disable the brightness slider. We have the advanced location quick settings option too. You will be getting those three options in then in the navigation bar: device only, battery saving, and high accuracy. You can just configure that directly from the quick settings panel too. And then if you want vibrate on touch, show 4 tiles per row, we don't have the 5 tiles option though. Enlarge first one, time contextual headers, and this is the nature image pack which we have in the time contextual headers. Then we have the blur personalizations imported from the Marshmallow. Blur status bar background, you can configure that using the blur scale and the blur radius. Again, I had covered up these settings in great detail in my Marshmallow review. Translucent notification, blur the status bar header, and the expanded status bar options. So a lot of options to configure, which you can refer to if you want to learn more about blur. I guess it's a 15-minute video which I did on that, and if you just want to know on how you can tweak these settings further, you can refer to that video. Then I did mention that this ROM comes in with the Substratum theme engine, another one of those many ROMs which are moving on to the Substratum theme engine now from the layers interface. Then we do get Viper for Android, and this ROM comes in with BusyBox installed. So you just need to install the driver, the Viper for Android driver, and reboot your phone to activate it. Then we have the brightness level settings. You can configure that to adaptive brightness, theme. Okay, another great feature about this ROM is that we do get two theme options, light and dark, and the best thing about this ROM is that the entire system UI is themed as per the theme you are using, light or dark. So whether it is the power menu or I will go up to Wi-Fi. You can see that even the Wi-Fi menu is themed. Even this dialog box which just popped up is also themed, and also the stock file browser, it is also themed. And just quickly, the stock file browser does allow you to install APK files directly. So there you go, you can install the APK files directly from the file browser. Many ROMs don't have this functionality, but ZephyrOS is one of the few ROMs out there which has this feature. Then if you want to press the power button twice to launch the camera, again if you want to have a look at the light theme too, then power menu, and also the notifications are themed as per the theme which you are using. I will be going back to the light theme. Again, you can see that everything is themed as per the theme you are using. So it's great to see that. Once again, just quickly, I will go back to storage and USB. Then you can see that everything is themed as per the theme you run. So that's a big advantage and I just showed you the notifications as well. And this ROM comes in with the Android N style notifications. Maybe Android Nougat was supposed to release on 22nd of August, but let's see what happens to that as well. Maybe they won't release it. Anyways, this is the dark theme, and again, the notifications get themed as well. Then you can configure the press the power button twice to launch the camera. You can configure the LCD density from a preset stock values. Then the font size, if you want to show or hide the toast icon. And then we have some volume rocker settings here. Use the volume keys to wake up the device, wake up on charge, and we do get screenshot, crop and share, and the crop behavior. I will be covering up this and the floating peak options right at the end of the video. Sound and notification settings, nothing in except we'll be just going through other sounds. So playback control is present down below, and you can configure the dial pad tone, screen locking sounds, charging sounds, touch sound, and vibrate on touch. Then next up we have storage and USB. So about half of the space is occupied in my device. Then we have the battery settings. So if you want to enable the battery bar, then you have to head down to the battery menu. So we can configure the location, top of the status bar, top of the navigation bar, or at the bottom of the navigation bar. Then you can configure its color too, the alignment. This is the regular one which is aligned to the left edge. This is the center mirrored one, and you can configure its thickness in the end. And if you want to have the charging animation in, then you can enable that too. Reset starts, battery saver, this is an AOSP based ROM, so you can enable the battery saver whenever you want to. Battery optimization, and then the battery percentage if you want to show it inside the icon or next to the icon. And then you can configure the icon type to circle. This is the portrait icon. We don't get the landscape icon though. Then we have the circle option, and again they have customized it to a certain extent as well. And then if you just want to show the text, up to you. Security settings, unknown sources is checked in by default though. Okay, so first of all, you can configure the lock screen. We have some lock screen tweaks, you can do that. Unknown sources is checked in by default, as I told you. That's all what we have in here. Privacy guard, I made a separate video on that, so if you want to know how you can use privacy guard to combat malicious apps and at the same time use it as a power saving tool, then I will link down that video down below in the description. The Marshmallow review too, so if in case you guys want to refer to both of them, then do that. Developer options, power menu, as I told you, I have enabled all of them, all the options, and this is how the power menu looks like. So ample number of settings in here too. Then root access, it is enabled by default. We do get super sutu. Then USB debugging is not checked in by default, so in case you plan to sideload any app from Titanium backup, or just to be on the safer side of things, enable USB debugging. and multi-window mode is present just below the animation settings. And I told you that how you can you can configure the kill app back button action using the by configuring the long press action of the back button in the Dirty Unicorns interface package. So that's all what we have in the settings menu. Then again we do get the browser, calculator, stock, Marshmallow camera, clock, then we have the documents package, you can through which you can install the APKs by default. MI Explorer is not present in, I just installed it. We have the Substratum theme engine. SCR Pro is also not present by default. 11 music player is present by default. Viper for Android is present by default. Okay, so just quickly, the wallpapers which we get, these are the ones which we have. Widgets, these are the options which you get. Okay, so Slim Launcher does have certain settings, we would be getting to that. Okay, but just very quickly, it does not matter. So if you want to have a look at the all apps, the all apps, this will just take you directly to the app drawer. And then if you want to have a view of the launcher settings, the overview mode, the default home screen, this is the overview mode. This is the overview mode. And quickly again, then we have the settings, home screen settings. You can show or hide the search bar, then you can configure the grid size too. Very quickly again, currently you can see that we have a 4x4 columns. Actually this is a 4x4 layout if you actually configure everything in. And then I will just increase the number of columns down to 5, say, and there you see we get space for one more icon. So that's what the home screen grid size is all about. Then you can configure the icon size in the end. We have the dock settings next. So this is the dock, and you can configure it as well. Similarly, we have the number of icons which can be shown in the dock. Currently there were 4 icons and 1 app drawer icon, so I will just put them down to 6, and there you can see that we can accommodate 1 more icon now. Then we have the icon size, you can configure that as well. App drawer settings, we have the vertical and the page style layout, and you can configure the portrait size, grid size, and the landscape grid size in the paged layout mode. Okay, so if you want to have a look at the page layout, currently we won't be able to see that page layout. If you want to have a look at that, then we can configure the portrait grid size. Say we will decrease the number of rows and columns down to 3 maybe, and you can configure the icon size too again. So let us see. Okay, so this is the page style layout which I was talking about. Then folders, you can configure that background color. Very quickly once again, sorry. Okay, another thing, you can you can install and uninstall. If you, in case you what you just need to do is sorry, I will go back to the vertical style layout for a moment. I just prefer that anyways. Okay, so when you long press on any app and you drag it onto the home screen, you do get the uninstall option, edit option, and the app info. So using the edit option, you can change the name of how the app should appear, not in the app drawer but only on the home screen. So say I had put in the MI Explorer F, and that's how it looks like then. And then an overview of the folder settings. You can colorize the background color very quickly, the icon text color, the preview color, and hide the folder name. You can just do all that stuff, and there you can see all those tweaks in action. Then we have the gestures. Swipe up on left, middle, and right, then swipe down, pinch, spread, and double tap. You can configure all that, and these are the options which you can choose from. Custom actions, again, if you want to launch a task from tasker here, another great feature which we have. General settings, you can allow rotation or just select an icon pack. Then we have the okay, so lastly I want to show you the floating peak feature and just the screenshot crop. Okay, so first of all we have the screenshot crop feature in. Okay, so you know what the screenshot crop feature allows you to is it will directly allow you to edit the screenshot from the notification panel. You just need to tap on this edit icon, and then edit menu will edit style layout will pop up, and from here you can crop the screenshot if you want to, and then when you are done, just press on the save icon. If you want to delete it, tap on delete. But there are many other things which we can do that too. Of course, you can crop the screenshot by pressing on the first option in here, and then you can also crop, you can also customize how the cropping should be done. So this is the first option, and if you want to have a bit of rounded corners, then you can configure this in here. And if you want to have a circular layout, which you can see, you can do that too. And when you are done, just press in this checkmark icon, and it will just ensure everything. And then we can write on the screenshot too. You can configure the color of the of how the text should be written, or anything which you are doing, and then you can configure the stroke width too. So again, a great feature to have in. And then in the end, we have the blur option. So you just need to select on a specific region of the screenshot, and it will blur that portion automatically. You want to go back to the, you want to undo the changes, you can tap on that on this reset icon, but I guess only one undo change is allowed. And then when you, if you want to delete the screenshot, just tap on that delete icon. Okay, so that's what screenshot crop and share is all about. Now moving on to quickly the what I want to show you, the most importantly, the floating peak feature. Okay, so first of all, you can configure access this feature in 3 ways. First of all is by again by long pressing on this, and then on any notification which you want to, and then just tapping on this floating peak icon. And as you can see that the SanDisk SD card setup will pop up in the form of a floating window, which can't be moved around though. And then when you are done doing whatever you wanted to do in this floating window, you can just tap on the back icon. It's as simple as that. And additionally, you can also enable this option by using this floating peak icon to the left of the close button. And then lastly, where the floating peak functionality comes in really very handy is when you are sending a message. Okay, so I'll just key in my number, and then you can just check mark it, and then so okay, I'll just go back and fill in the number again. Maybe I guess it just did not take it in correctly. Okay, so this is how it's look like. And now I'll just key in hi, say, and when you send a message in, I've just sent a message in, and I'll just be getting back a reply shortly, and it pops up. And when I just tap on that heads up notification, and when I want to key in a reply to anyone, it will open up the app, because currently I have not enabled floating peak, as you can see in the quick settings panel. And now when I enable floating peak, and let me just send another test message in. I guess gesture typing is not there too. So again, very quickly, when the message comes up and we tap on that heads up notification, this time a floating window will pop up right over the app which you were using lastly in the recent panel. With the whichever last app which you were using, you can just quickly key in a reply, type in it, tap in, and just tap on the send button. And when you are done using it, you can just press the back button and return to resume to what you were doing. So again, it's another great feature which we have in. That's what floating peak is all about. So I guess that pretty much sums up the video. So if you like this video, then do hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to get a notification in whenever I upload my next video, then do subscribe to my channel as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.